I was 30 at the time, living in a quiet suburban neighborhood abroad. Our house was a mother-daughter style, two separate units stacked on top of each other. My sister lived downstairs and I lived upstairs. That night she wasn't home. She was staying over at her boyfriend's place. The house was swallowed in an eerie silence. Late at night I was sitting in my living room watching a horror movie. The layout was wide open, living room, dining area and kitchen all merged into one vast dark space. Sitting on the sofa, my back was completely exposed to the void behind me. Throughout the movie, I kept feeling like someone was standing in the shadows behind me. I turned around repeatedly, but there was nothing. I finished the movie and went to bed around 1 a.m. Exactly 2 hours later, I was jolted awake by a terrifying scream. It was clearly my sister's voice coming from downstairs. She was screaming my name as if in agonizing pain. Still groggy, I stumbled downstairs. The lower hallway was pitch black. When I flicked on the kitchen light, it began to flicker dimly. That's when I realized the house was empty. No sister, no boyfriend. As I stood there, frozen, a loud, heavy thud, like something massive hitting the floor, echoed from inside my sister's bedroom. My heart nearly stopped. I sprinted back upstairs and bolted my door. The next morning, my sister confirmed she hadn't come home at all. Whose voice was that? And what made that sound? To this day, when I'm alone, I can still hear that scream echoing in my ears. Growing up, my mother raised us alone. Since she worked night shifts at the hospital, I often stayed home by myself as a 14-year-old. One weekend, my friend Molly came over. The incident happened just 10 minutes after she left. It was pitch black outside. My bedroom window looked directly out over the back deck. Suddenly, I heard the sound of a heavy metal chair being dragged across the wood. I thought, did Molly come back? I peered out the window and my blood ran cold. A figure was sitting in the deck chair. I whispered, "Molly?" When the figure looked up, it wasn't Molly. A stranger with a distorted, hideous face was staring straight at my window. I recoiled and huddled on my bed. Then, the nightmare sound began. A raspy, wheezing laughter drifted up from below. It wasn't a normal laugh. It sounded like the man was struggling for breath while chuckling. Moments later, he began pounding on the back door and then the front door. I sat paralyzed with fear, not even thinking to call the police. After about an hour, he finally left. When my mother returned in the morning and heard the story, she was furious that I hadn't called 911. But even now, that wheezing laugh haunts my dreams. I was 10 years old. My older brother had been seriously injured in a car accident and was in the hospital. My parents, crying and panicked, rushed out with my younger sister, leaving me behind. In their haste, they forgot to lock the front door. After midnight, I heard the creak of the front door opening. I assumed my family had returned, but there was no talking. I crept to the stairs and peered through the railing. In the dim light of the living room, I saw 3 large men standing there. Intruders. Terrified, I ran to my room and hid inside my closet, burying myself behind piles of clothes and old boxes. Suddenly, my bedroom door burst open. I could hear the heavy thud of their boots. They tossed the sheets off my bed, searching. Then, they flung open the closet door. I sat there, holding my breath, as still as a stone. For 20 seconds, a full agonizing 20 seconds, they stared into the closet. I was right there in their line of sight, but perhaps due to the darkness or a miracle, they didn't see me. After they left, I realized just how closely I had looked death in the face. July 2013. Behind our house was a dense, sprawling forest. I was a teenager home alone late at night listening to music on the deck. Suddenly, a deep male voice cried out from the woods, "Hey, we're stuck! Please help us!" Thinking someone was in genuine trouble, I grabbed a flashlight and stepped into the yard. As I moved closer, the voice from the woods said, "Keep coming forward. I can see you." A chill ran down my spine. The man said he could see me, yet his voice wasn't panicked. It was calm, steady, and bone-chillingly cold. I immediately turned and bolted into the house, locking the door behind me. Moments later, I heard a splash in the backyard swimming pool. I parted the curtains just an inch and saw a head peeking out from behind the pool's edge. He realized I was watching. Suddenly, he began clawing frantically at the window glass, letting out a high-pitched, hysterical laugh. I started screaming at the top of my lungs, and eventually he vanished into the darkness. Was that voice and that laughter even human? At 23, I was out in my front yard playing basketball. Glancing up at the second-floor window, I froze. An unknown woman was standing at the guest room window, watching me. I rushed inside and searched the entire house, kitchen, bedrooms, even the basement. Nothing. I tried to convince myself I had imagined it. Before going to bed, I checked the house one last time. Everything seemed fine. Just as I was drifting off to sleep, I heard a rustling sound from under my bed. The ceiling fan was on, so it took a moment to register the noise. I turned over and my heart stopped. A woman with filthy, matted hair was slowly crawling out from under my bed. I lunged out of bed and tackled her. During the struggle, she raked her long nails across my arms, leaving deep gashes. After my neighbor arrived with the police, we discovered she was a drug addict who had been hiding under my bed all day. The 2 scars on my arm remained today, a constant reminder that someone could be hiding in your home without you ever knowing.